Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to TerickTime on Channel 64. In the last episode, we worked on the front of Sunset Ranch. That's right, this area now has a fantastic little name, and we spent a ton of time working on a whole bunch of finer details, adding all sorts of little bushy trees and life to the front half here, and it is wonderful. I love it so very much. And if you like all sorts of cozy, crazy builds with lots of little nature and custom trees, make sure you hit that sub button for more of this enjoyable content. And I won't lie to you, between episodes, the feeling of decorating did not stop. I was super busy, and I have a ton to show you, and I'm super proud of this. But we're going to do it in a little weird montage here, so let's take a look. But before I can show you the finished product, we have the important task of naming the little old skeleton horse we got in the last episode. And, of course, we have to choose a Fluffy. Because, well, I'm a big fan of a certain movie that has little yellow people that say the word banana. Fluffy may not be a unicorn, but in my heart, Fluffy, you're a unicorn. You're a fancy party horse. I know, I'm strange. It's weird. It's fine. Everything's fine. And now the grand reveal. A fancy tree. A big old fancy tree with a bunch of happy little mushrooms growing around it. So I've tried to kind of make a farming garden area. So here we have a little mushroom patch under a big old oak tree. And there is a spore blossom up there for some added ambiance. This I'm exceptionally proud of. I took some inspiration from Scar, Good Times with Scar, and using coral for plants. But I didn't quite like the look of any type of slab. But what we can do is we can waterlog mangrove roots, and then we can put the coral on top. So I find this looks a little bit more like a garden versus kind of something like an oak slab or something like that. And then I did add a little bit of soil in here just to kind of give it a little bit of difference from the path. But I really like how this looks and turns out. It's something a little bit different, and well, it makes me happy. And then there's the vineyard. I really like this idea. So I've got the spruce posts, and then the leaves with chains going sideways here to make it look like the chains are kind of going through the leaves and supporting all the vines. And then I did also use the little nether warts here, or nether vines? I don't remember which one that is, but they're the stems instead of kind of using like a fence or a dead bush, just to kind of give it a little bit of extra character and color, and There's the whole little drip leaf field here as well, with a little fancy pump bringing water up into the pond here for the drip leaf to grow. Just tons of fun little... Oh, and a little wheelbarrow. Don't forget the little wheelbarrow. Just lots of little fun little details. I had so much fun between episodes, just making this area feel alive, and I think I really have accomplished that. But now, it is time to move over to the oasis, or some water, because, well, our log shop has been just kind of sitting in a little bit of a hole. And as much as I love this build, I'm sure my log shop could be doing substantially better if it was a little bit more noticeable. So I think we should head over to the oasis here. And I'm going to be picking a spot right about here, because there's a little puddle. And I'd like to use said little puddle because, well, as much as this is a desert, I do want to have a kind of different tree shop. And, well, I asked my inner child, what would a great tree shop be? And, well, I'm going to have to show you. Let's go get a few materials, and I'm going to have to start working on terraforming and building up this shop. Oh my goodness, it's a tree with a tree fort and a thing and a happy Tarek, a happy Tarek, happy Tarek. Well, mostly happy Tarek. I am super happy with how this tree has turned out. It's got some, layers and then a fancy little tree fort in the middle there. Tried to get stuck in a palm tree. Just kind of whip something up for this. I didn't plan any of this. I'm sorry. I'm winging this episode so hard right now. But I really like how this turned out. And as much as the tree is amazing, the area around it here is a little lackluster. So there's a few things I want to do to make it prettier. I.e., the sand I'm going to swap out for mud, maybe? But probably mud. And then I want to kind of pretty this little hole up as well, and maybe add a little bit of some stone, so to speak. So I'm thinking I'm going to start in here, though. So I'm going to grab my stone and, well, make that nicer looking. And I would say I'm off to a very solid start here for just kind of expanding. Well, it was a puddle, now it's a little mini oasis. Mini some water? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to do the greens and bushes just yet because I still want to get this top section transformed to kind of mud and some rooted mud, because I'm thinking somewhere I have a whole bunch of mud and this rooted mud, and I'm thinking the rooted mud is going to be kind of around the roots and the tree itself a little bit more, and then the kind of coming out a little bit will be just the regular mud. So I get to dig more sand. Always more sand. And with much mud being placed and just a little bit of deep slate, I now have a nice little area here where it's a little bit well, wet because it's mud and there's a puddle. So it kind of makes sense that this tree would be growing here because it's able to get enough water from this little puddle. Yes. And then I've added a couple little end rod mushroom lights just to, well, light it up because I was getting spiders for some reason spawning. But now I've got a bunch of leafy little bits, so I think I'm going to go through and kind of add some dead bushes with some leaves on top for little bushes, kind of add some greenery and some life around here and just make it a little mini oasis, kind of like this one, but drastically smaller. So I will continue to work on that, and then I will show you a grand reveal. I gotta say, after many, many, many hours, I really like how this turned out. All of the fun little details, all of them. So, mud, and then I've started mixing in coarse dirt and all these other little bits of moss just to really give this a whole bunch of variation and just make this, well, look a little different in the desert. And I also did an extremely simple interior for the log shop. So I have everything converted over to signs just for being lag friendly. And then everything has the appropriate sign of the logs that are in the chest. Oh, and a couple of little arbor stand axes just for funsies. Apparently I didn't glow that one though. Oopsies. Squish. That's better. There. Now I have a new and improved log shop, and I am also very happy how this has turned it out. And, well, I need to clean up my mess, but I also really want to go check out over there, because Arrington has been very, very busy and built a ton of shops that I want to go check out. Look at these fancy little builds. This is amazing. I love this. Oh, and I think he's... Oh, Ender and Sun. What are we selling in here? All of the end goodness. So wings, shulker shells. That's fantastic. And ooh, that is actually very, very good. Since I'm not going to the end, at least I can still get some endstone to build stuff if I so wish. And also fishy business. Yeah, Arrington made one of the new AFK fish farms, so I guess this is all of the byproducts of this. I wonder if we can get any close, but no. That is what we're looking for. Let me get my wallet. And it looks like we have the makings of a banner shop, or is this a wool shop? Yeah, it's a wool shop. Nice. I guess the free wool train has officially come to an end, but you might be wondering why I'm wanting a Curse of Binding book. Well, I haven't done any pranks in quite some time, and I'm feeling the itch. So in between episodes, I'm gonna have to do some planning, some scheming, and I think we're gonna have to prank somebody again soon because it's been too long. And now back at Sunset Ranch with my favorite new skeleton horse, Fluffy. I think I'm gonna have to wrap this episode up. It's a little bit of a shorter one than mine usual, but it has been an absolute ton of work. All of these fine little details, trying to come up with kind of new and interesting ways to do a few things has really taken a lot of time. And, well, I hope you enjoy it because I've had a lot of fun doing all this little detail-y work. So if you do like the episode, make sure you hit that little like button. Drop me a comment down below on what your favorite part was. And until next time, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.